Hi, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode of This Mummer Runs podcast. Fifth episode, my God. I'm Erin, the host of This Mummer Runs podcast. I'm also known as This Mummer Runs _83 over on Instagram. So if you don't follow me, head over to Instagram, give me a like and a follow. But most importantly, head over to the This Mummer Runs podcast page on Instagram. Give it a like and a follow as well. I can't grow that page without your guys' help. So yeah, give it a like and a follow. That would be amazing. So tonight I am recording with Christian, who is known as Christian_on_the_run over on Instagram. So if you want to know more about Christian, head over to his page, give him a like and a follow as well, find out what he's up to. It's a legend. He's flat out running these mad distances, and I'm very excited to talk to him tonight to hear his story about how he has went from being a drug runner to an ultra runner. Mind blown. I can't wait to talk to him. So let's get started. Welcome to the fifth episode of This Mummer Runs podcast. Thanks for joining me tonight to talk to me.
Thanks for having me, Erin. Thank you very much.
No problems. I'm very excited to talk to you. I'm excited to hear your story. Obviously, I know a little bit about it from just following you on Instagram. Because you have in your bio on Instagram, drug runner to ultra runner.
Yeah.
Wow, I want to hear more about that. And I want you to share that with me. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've always been a bit of a naughty boy, like ever since I
Cheeky.
was. Yeah, I mean, I was always naughty, but I was never nasty. I was always just a bit, doing stuff I shouldn't have. So like, it started in probably year 9 at school was where I started getting into.
What age is year 9? You help me out here, being from Ireland.
Yeah, I think it's about 13, 14.
Okay.
So for a brief period, I was pirating pornography off the internet and selling it to sixth formers in school.
14?
Yeah, so I was doing that from a very early age, selling about £5 for a DVD. And then I'd use that money to buy cigarettes. I'd make double my money on that, because I'd get a 10-pack, sell £2 a cigarette. So I was earning just silly money off that. And then I got my hands on a little bit of hash. Hash. And then I realized, oh, this makes me a lot more money than cigarettes and pornography.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it started from that, and then I just started getting into it myself. More so, I was never really into weed or hash or anything like that. I was more eckies and like pills and that. That was like towards like the end of school, so sort of like year 11.
What age is 9? What age is year 11? 9, 10,
year
11,
11,
16?
16, yeah.
Still a baby.
Yeah. Like there was like a series at a time called Skins that had come out, so it was all very.
Oh God, yeah.
From being like a bit of a shady character in school to everyone loves me, everyone's like, you're the ecky lad. So so sort of my social sort of standing sort of changed quite dramatically, and then so I got more into like the party scene.
Yeah.
And I did try and sort of make myself of something. I went to college, all that sort of stuff. That didn't last very long. I mean, I finished and everything, but I started working in banking while I was doing that.
Right. Okay.
It's just high street banking, not nothing like Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that. So I worked at a Santander, and I just got quite into my cocaine during that time.
Okay.
Cool. And got really, really heavily into it. I loved it, to be honest. I just liked how it made me feel. I liked who I was. It made me good at my job, because it just gave me that confidence.
A little bit extra,
Yeah, because it's hard to you know, when you're thinking clearly, it's hard to try and sell someone a credit card who's already like 10 grand in debt.
Mhm.
It's you got sort of like an empathy there, like, no, you can't sell this to this person. It's just going to get himself in more debt. Whereas, I did not care while I was
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
No.
so yeah, and then with that, I sort of got into selling it because I got a load of it for a big payment I got. Bought a load and was selling bits of it off to sort of
Mhm.
make my money on it. And then I just sort of got as a reputation of Christian sells coke,
Cool.
So I was like, again, and it just sort of escalated quite quickly. I was quite lucky because it was very sort of before these county line drug things that you hear about these days sort of
Yeah.
happened. Nothing like that when I was doing my stuff. It was, well, I was lucky. I was in a small town of Newmarket in Suffolk,
Mhm.
um, where everyone knows everyone's business. There was no sort of like gangs or anything like that. There was no violence. I mean, there might have been a scrap every now and again, but there wasn't. No one was going out with guns and
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was very yeah. So it was very civilized, as much as it can
As,
be.
as civilized as it can be, absolutely. So
Uh,
how long were you using coke for?
um, probably about 2 and a bit years, I'd say.
Yeah. And what
Uh,
age are you now?
I'm hang on, 33.
Ooh, 33.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
that's
Do you have to think about that for a second?
so yeah, so I've been off it for years now.
For you,
But
Christian.
yeah, it took me a lot. It took me probably. I had like a bit of a break, and then I actually sort of had a mental breakdown after it. And I think, looking back at it, I think it was like my body sort of getting out of the sort of drug psychosis, if that makes sense. Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
right, you've got rid of that. Now we have to have like an actual raw mental breakdown, uh, which I kind of did. I wasn't mental well for quite a bit, drinking quite heavily.
Mhm.
Um,
So
I had gambling.
did you then start substituting alcohol for the drugs?
It was the other way around.
And
So I
then
started substituting the drugs for alcohol. But yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, I started drinking after the drugs.
after yeah, so
Yeah, I was drinking while I was doing coke because I was out, clubbing all the time.
yeah,
But always like, yeah, I, no more than anyone else was drinking.
yeah.
I say that I was having tequila on lunch breaks a lot of time when I was in bed, but um, but yeah, it wasn't like as soon as I wake up in the morning, have a drink. Where I was at that time, as soon as I wake up in the morning, have a quick bump,
Allowing. Yeah.
and then go to work and have another bump, and then yeah, but yeah, no way. It wasn't until like I got out of that, then yeah, the drink started coming into it, and I think it was replacing one addiction for another.
Yeah.
I don't think I was like becoming addicted. It was just getting unhealthy.
Mhm.
So it would literally be as soon as I got home from work, um, I'd have like a few glasses of Jack Daniels or something, and I'd buy like a 500 ml bottle, but it would last me like a few days. It's not like most people, but get half-liter bottle of Jack Daniels. It lasts them, a
A
year,
few
stuff,
other yeah.
a few weeks or whatever. It was getting done in a week. Um, so yeah, that was probably mentally my darkest time. Even though you'd think the drugs would do the worst, it was actually the
Yeah,
drink.
it's the alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So
But,
how long ago was that?
um, see, it's weird because I went through stages. Like I went through like a whiskey stage where I was just drinking loads of whiskey, and then I sort of came off it for a bit. I'm trying to think. So I think 2018 was when I started sobering up.
Mhm.
Like I still, drink, but like stopping myself from drinking all the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
between
Christian, that's a massive thing. If you're still able to have a drink after what you've come through, That's
Yeah,
a very disciplined, you need to be a very strong person to do something like that.
yeah,
Um, and you to stop yourself from over drinking. Well, what's the word? I don't drink, so well, I say I don't drink. I drink very, very minimally. Um, but to still be able to continue to drink after coming through something like that, you have to be a very disciplined person to actually know your limit and to
yeah,
stop
yeah.
yourself. So, God Almighty,
That's
good on you.
right. Yeah, it's because it's like even when I was sort of trying to quit drinking, if I went out, I'd have my head in the toilet when I got home, and but now I've got to the point where I can go out. I'll get to a point where I think, right, if I have another drink now, I'm going to be steaming. So
That's
then I
it.
know back then. So it is, yeah. Even though I'm really undisciplined, like I'm probably one of the least disciplined people in the world. I do know when to stop it. But if I was offered Coke and I took it, that would be it. That would be my life would be, over. There'd be no sort of, oh, can have
Yeah.
it every weekend. No, that'd be it. I'd be, you know, straight on it. There'd be no
Oh
coming
God,
back.
yeah.
That's why I'll be so selective who I hang around with, and it's surprising, like the amount of people who you wouldn't think are doing it, but it's so much more socially acceptable now than when I was doing it.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing it, it was like if you're doing coke, you've got money.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everyone do it. Whereas now I go on a night out and there's like 4 cubicles full of lads all doing it. I'm like,
Everybody's doing it.
and like girls who I think wouldn't say boo to a goose, and then they're like, you know, yeah, got the
Yeah.
keys out the smoking area.
Oh my God. So, how did you pull yourself out of that though?
So during my drinking stages, I went through a wine stage. I still like a glass of red now,
You had
but
various stages of alcohol.
yeah, through like I'd
Whiskey.
drink loads of whiskey and then like, I'd sort of, I don't know, get fed up of it, and then I'll drink loads of beer, get fed up of that, and then yeah, I just sort of went through stages, and then yeah, I was going through my wine stage. It was with the last stage, and it was just it was going straight to my belly. I've always been quite a lean lad, I've never been, so it was really sort of noticeable on me that like, oh, I've put on weight.
Belly.
You know, and that's the thing because I didn't fill out anywhere else. It was sort of a bit in my face and my belly, so it just looked really weird. Like my arms were still skinny and all that, but it's just like I had this pouch of a belly and
Yeah.
like a face, and that yeah, it just did not look good. So I was like, right, okay, I need to nip this in the bud and sort of get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
Um, Sort of when running comes into it, because I'm not a gym goer. I
Okay.
have a gym at home because I'm better at like I can't after work I can't go to a gym after work and do a workout. Whereas because I've got a gym at home, like I can put a kettle on, go into my gym, do a few, pull-ups or squats or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's it. I'm back. But um so yeah, so I've not got that sort of discipline, but I was like, right, okay, a few of the people in work were doing a half marathon, the Chester half marathon. So I was
Okay.
like, right,
Where was this?
this was for 2018. So I probably signed up in, yeah, probably would have been 2018. Yeah, probably would have been start of that year that I signed up for it.
So you
So
started, so that was when you got into running in 2018. That's when it
yeah,
all kicked off for you.
yeah, and
Um,
pretty straight away because I didn't train for it at all. Like I think I went back at my Strava and I think I went for like 6 runs before I done it,
Oh, bloody hell.
and weren't good runs either. Like I remember, like the first one was like from my house to Sainsbury's, which is like I think it's not even a mile, and
Uh-huh.
and then gave up and walked home. And then yeah, I think the longest I got to a 10K. So yeah, that's as far as I got. But then once I'd done it though, I did finish, and that was it. Then addicted straight away. I
Yeah.
was just, I mean, it's just that addictive personality I've got. I think it is hereditary as well. Like a lot of my
Yeah.
family have got issues with drink, and it's not even just one side. Like my mum's side are quite sort of She has a brother and a sister who like their substances. But then my dad's side of the family, like his dad and his granddad, are all on the drink. So
Yeah.
I think I was doomed from the start on that front, but I've just thankfully managed to change the
Manage it.
addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit more positive than
Good.
polluting.
So you got into running 2018. You done your Chester Marathon.
Yeah, a half marathon. Yeah, and
Sorry,
then
your half marathon. Apologies. How long did it take you?
I think it was 2 hours 38.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it was a proper plod. But then the year after, I beat it by like an hour and 3 minutes or something. Because I like I said, that
Did
addiction just taken over. Then I was just
yeah.
like, right, this is it. This is what I want to do now. And
And
then
then yeah, good. Exciting. Um, so what led you in then to ultra running?
I saw a medal and liked it, and I was like, I want to get that medal. That was purely
That
it.
was it. The
Yeah,
medal. It was the medal.
yeah.
I love
A
it.
medal, like a medal reveal for the race. It was for the Chester 50 miler, held by GB Ultras, and it was like this, big bit of bling with a lion's face. I just thought it looked really cool, and I was like, right, I want that. Looks more into the race, and it was like, one of the requirements for the race is you have to have run a marathon, which I hadn't done at that time. So I was like, right, okay. And then
Done the
the
search for a
Chester,
marathon then, did you?
yeah, so that was it.
Quick Google.
So yeah, Chester Marathon was just like the natural one. It's in my hometown. I could walk to the start line and that. So yeah, that was it then. Sort of done the marathon and yeah, went straight onto the 50 miler. I think what was would have been like 6 months after. I think yeah, six months after.
Bloody hell. You
Yeah.
you progress like you progressed really, really quickly.
Yeah, and it's funny. Today I've only just hung up my medals today, like all my medals I've
No.
got. And I was looking at like the jump from my first half marathon to the first ultra. I was like,
What
if I saw like with what I know now, if someone done what I done, I was probably been like, no, you need to do more marathons or do more mountain races to see the time on feet and that. But no, like I did just sort of go straight for it.
so what was the difference? What was the time difference from between your marathon? So when did you do your marathon?
The marathon was in September. I think was it 2019, and
Okay.
then it was February 2020 that I'd done the 50 miler.
Bloody hell. Not even like a little 50K. A little 50. Not even a 50K or like to ease your way ease your way into it. Oh no. We'll go 50 miles.
Yeah, like, I know what I know now. I wouldn't have done that. I would have definitely like sort of done a few more marathons, maybe a 50K, and then. But yeah, no,
Would you have though? Would you have knowing what you know now? Would you have? No. No. Of
no.
course not. So that was your first 50 miler. And
Yeah,
how have you come from when did you say that was 2020 was it?
2020. Yeah, yeah.
And
So
what like look what you done Snowdonia 100K last year. So was that your
yeah.
first have you done 100 miler?
I've done 100 miler. Yeah, I've done it in Scotland. It was is it the Moray Way? Moray
Okay.
Way. Yeah, yeah. That was like literally just before lockdown. I was really lucky with that. Well, actually, I think England was in lockdown when I done it.
Right,
Scotland,
okay, and Scotland wasn't.
it was the other way around. I can't remember. One of them was in lockdown, the other wasn't. So yeah, and that's sort of why I done it because I was like, I don't know how long this is going to go on for.
Yeah.
Because we were sort of like, oh, we'll be back to normal next week, and then there was people saying no, like the next few years. So I was really glad I'd done it. I've not done one since actually. I did attempt another one in Scotland, but I had to DNF because I had kidney failure.
Oh bloody
Uh,
hell. What?
yeah, Yeah, I don't know, my body just wasn't keeping up with the heat.
Okay.
Um, I was drinking loads and I was expelling it various ways, and then it was just wasn't keeping it in. I was just it was the sodium I was losing more than
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, not to go into too much information, but like basically my urine was like browny red. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got to the checkpoint, which was I think it was only 26 miles in, and the medic just looked at me and was like, "How's your wee been?" I'm like,
Oof.
"Good." He was like, "I can tell." He was like, "Your eyes are like everywhere," and he was like, "Right." And then they done like little thingy test on me, and they were like, "Yeah, your kidneys they're packing up." They're like, "You need to call it now because if you carry on, you might not make the next checkpoint." So
My God.
because it was something, was it? It's something when basically you have no salt in the body, so your body just
Yeah, your body will
shuts
just, yeah, it'll just shut down to like try and preserve itself. So, God, you must have been losing salt then at an extortionate rate.
yeah, yeah, that was it. 'Cause I was sweating loads, but I was trying to like take as much fluids and electrolytes as I could, but then I was, urinating every, 200 meters. It was just, yeah, it was weird. It's not happened to me since, which is funny because I've had hotter races since then. Because I had the
Yeah.
UTS 100, Ultra Trail Snowdonia 100. That was, I think in the late 20s, and then I had UTS 50 this year, which I think was
It
like
was it
24.
was a hot one. Yeah, that was
It
a hot
was
one.
Scorchio. Um, so yeah, I don't know why it's affecting me. I think Snowdonia has more streams though, which is what I plunk myself into.
Right, okay. So, but
Yeah.
do you know, like, do you take salt on whenever you're running? Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like,
So I have like a drinks mix which has electrolytes and all
yeah,
that stuff. I
your
have
sodium in it?
bars as well which have electrolytes in them. So yeah, if yeah, I don't know why that race just my body just wasn't playing ball.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Well,
mad,
thank
isn't it?
God you're here to tell the story, though.
I don't think it would have been that bad. I think
I
once I
don't
got to
think
that,
it would have been that bad.
I think I probably wouldn't have made it out of town if I carried on. So someone
Will
would
you
have
go
found
back?
me.
Go back and give it another crack, though.
Maybe, yeah. I've got too much on to be honest, like race wise, for me to.
What else have you got on?
Got the Lakeland 100.
Yep.
Um, I've got that, and then I've got what else have I got? UTMB OCC.
Ooh,
Uh, Excited for that one. And I've got a few smaller races sort of in between, but they're sort of my two races. But I'm also like booking my races for next year as well.
okay.
Um, I've already got GL3D booked, which I love. I love it. It's not a race, but I just love the event. Um, Lakes Traverse, the Stour Valley Path 100. That's 100k. That one. It's in my it's in Newmarket. Starts like just a few just a few miles. Actually, it's less than a mile from my dad's house, so that's why I
Yeah.
want to do that. And then what's the other one? I'll have to check. So I've got a list. Some of them I've booked onto. Some of them are just like ones that I'm definitely sort of committing myself to doing.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, there's a 100 miler in Sweden. It's like a UTMB race, the Kullamannen,
Okay.
which I'm up. Yeah, so that's yeah, sort of them four, and I might do the 14 Peaks race as well in
What's
Snowdonia.
what's the 14 peaks? Obviously, it's 14 peaks in Snowdonia.
Yeah, so it's all the peaks that are over 3,000. Is it 3,000 feet?
Okay.
Um,
Who puts that
yeah,
on?
that's Apex Running.
Okay.
So they're the guys who run like all the sky running,
I
sky
follow
trail.
it. Yeah.
They're doing one in Northern Ireland as well. Um, the
I think
Morn line.
I think I've seen that actually advertised on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I might
There's a
get.
couple of good races in Ireland, in
Yeah,
Donegal, that you should
I
look
don't,
at.
yeah, I've been eyeing off Ireland. Like, yeah,
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 I really need to get over and do one of the races, especially in Donegal. That's my home county. I think it would be
yeah.
a very good race. Plus, there's it's epic views as well over in on Sleeve League. So yeah, you should look at Excel Sport. You should give them a
Yeah.
crack and have a look at them and see what they're about. Might tag them in this. But yeah, it's very good.
Forget.
Pardon?
You have to send me their Instagram because I'll forget.
I
Like,
will do.
yeah.
I absolutely will do. Definitely. So, have you committed to the Sweden run yet? That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, so that's I just found that by off chance, just going because when I was booking UTS, I was just looking at all the other UTMB races that there are,
Yeah.
or one in Sweden. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just sort of had a look, and then I saw instead of like a buckle or anything for the 100 milers, you get like a signet ring, and I'm
No
like,
way.
that's cool. Like, I'd never wear it, but I just want it. So more reason to do it. So yeah, and you get UTMB stones, so I might be able to go back to Chamonix again. So
Have you
that's
done Chamonix?
so yeah. So I done the UTMB ETC last year, which is a 15K race.
Okay.
Stones or anything for it, you can literally just sign up. But it was more because obviously I wanted to do UTMB. I just wanted to sort of go across, see what the crack is over there, what the atmosphere is like, and sort of how the races are held. And it's amazing. So straight away I was like, right, I need to get onto I know it's a bit controversial at the minute because everyone's sort of like trying to be sort of anti UTMB. I was like, I can't help it. it's
Do you?
once you've been to Chamonix, because we were there for like the main race start and finish, seeing
Yeah.
Volta and all that go off, and it was just like, oh my god,
Yeah. Okay. UTMB.
yeah, it's a bit controversial.
It's smidge controversial. Um, I kind of don't know where I sit on the where I sit on the fence. I kind of don't know where I sit with UTMB.
Mm,
Was because Arc of Attrition is a race that I have been wanting to do. Arc of Attrition have been taken over by UTMB. I still give my money to UTMB, but they're massive. They're a
yeah,
massive corporation, and I kind of feel they go in and take over these races. I mean, for Arc of Attrition, it's I don't know. I think Arc of Attrition for me is going to be a very special race. I don't know why. I just think I'm kind of hoping it's in a beautiful part of the country and it's going to probably be a very hard race for me. And UTMB have taken it over. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what it's like. This will be my first UTMB race.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, you say you've been to Chamonix. I'm kind of it's never like Arc of Attrition's never going to be have that kind of electric atmosphere. I think that you would get in. It's like one massive freaking party, I suppose, in Chamonix.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Maybe one day I'll go and experience it, but I don't know. UTM, it's a bit of a bone of contention, but still take
yeah,
my money though.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because I mean, the Ultra Trail Snowdonia, that's a UTMB race as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done that twice now. I volunteered for it. I think the year I volunteered for it was the first year it was, but it was UTMB,
It was taken over,
uh,
yeah.
and then yeah, the second 2 years. So I've sort of seen it sort of grow, like sort of how it's changed with UTMB,
Yeah,
and I know the former director very well. Mike, who had Ultra Trail Snowdonia before UTMB took it over.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're sort of fucking people over. I think, because I know Mike, he's a very smart person. He wouldn't have done it unless, you know, um, they've got deep pockets, haven't they? So,
of course they do. I just don't know that I agree so much. I mean, I was lucky that I had just run um an index race. One of the index races was the Centurion. It was the 50K 100 hills. I done it
okay,
earlier
yeah,
in the year, which gave me an index. And I was able to get I was able to get it on and get my ticket for Arc of Attrition before they went out on general sale. I don't know that I necessarily agree with their sliding scale, that, the prices going up
Yeah,
every
so
fucking hour or every minute. They put their prices up.
that's never been a thing since I think so as well. That's one thing I wanted to add about Mike selling it. He wouldn't. I don't think he would have sold it unless he knew it was going to be looked after. If
Hmm.
he thought it was just going to come and just ruin his life's work. But yeah, I don't like the whole. Yeah, it's so much money, and then in an hour it's going to be this much money. I just think I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just a bit weird way of doing it. But I do know some people who did do Arc before it was taken over and said, right, I'm not going to do it now at the CTMB.
yeah, yeah. I know. I know a few people that wanted to do Arc,
Yeah.
haven't done it before, but won't do it because
Mm,
UTMB have taken over. I'm kind of hoping with Arc this coming year that they kind of keep things, because it will change. Obviously, it will change.
yeah,
And
of course.
change is inevitable if it's taken over by a conglomerate such as UTMB. But I'm kind of hoping that it kind of stays what it was this year. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, yeah. I
We'll,
think
you know,
I've heard the race directors staying on board for the race. I
yeah,
think it's sort of like they just want to own it, and it's almost like a show is being taken over by a new network, but they're keeping the writers.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah. But
so yeah,
whatever. But yeah, still
yeah.
take, like, I mean, I still paid it, so
Yeah, I think a lot of it, if you have an issue with UTMB, it's either you're on the Damien Hall train of they're not, they've got a car manufacturer as their sponsor or whatever, or it's the dealings they had in Whistler in Canada with Gary Robbins. That's where I was sort of a bit like,
when
mm,
I heard that, I thought, what? Like,
nah, it was naughty.
very, very, very naughty. Just like really, really dick move, basically.
Yeah,
Real dick move. But
like a big corporate.
again, still
We
take
think,
my money.
yeah,
But yeah, so I am kind of on the fence on in regards to UTMB, and I mean it will probably always come up in conversation with
yeah,
ultra runners, and you
yeah,
either love it or you don't. Me, I'm very much on the fence about it. So I'll
yeah,
have to wait to see for Arc of Attrition. But I mean, like you've done Ultra Trail Snowdonia, and UTMB have taken
yeah.
that over. So yeah,
Mm.
we'll see. But anyway, let's
Lovely.
talk Ultra Trail Snowdonia.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've done it twice. Well, first 100K, then second 50K. So the
50K this
original plan,
year.
mm,
We do the 50K this year.
yeah, 50K this year. So there's originally, so I wanted to do, I'd done 100K last year with
Yeah.
the intention of doing the 100 miler this year that's just happened.
Okay.
Um, After finishing the 100K, I was done. I was cooked. Like, it was just like, no, I'm okay. I don't, I'll do other 100 milers, but not that 100 miler. It's just,
Not that one. I love it.
I was seeing people coming in, and I've like when you finish Ultra Snowdonia, you sort of ferried off into like a little marquee that has like a bar and little you get your cooked breakfast and all that. And I was sat with a guy who just finished the 100 miler, and he was just, yeah, he did not. He looked disheveled. He didn't look like a
Oh
human being. I was just
God.
like, I asked him how long he went out here, how long he was out for, and I can't remember how long he was out for. It was like good, like I think I want to say like 50 hours or something like that. And I'm just
Oh,
like, nah, that's too long.
wow.
That 100K took me 29 hours. Like you know, no.
All good.
Yeah.
What was
I
the
mean,
elevation on that 100K?
it's for the 100K. It is think it's 8,000 meters. Was
Jeez
it?
Louise.
Oh, I might be exaggerating that. Hang on. Let me get my Strava. I think it's 6,500. I think, yeah, because I'm pretty sure that UTS. Let's have a look. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, 6,534 meters. I don't know what that is
Is
in
that
feet.
is that all?
Yeah. So yeah.
Bloody hell.
As
That's
well as
nothing.
it was the heat as well. It was really warm. But it's the terrain as well, because so much of it's not runnable.
Yeah.
You'll go up, like you'll hike up because it's like that, and then like you get to
Hmm.
the top, you run for a few minutes, like not even a minute sometimes, and then you get to the bottom, it's all just like 2 foot rocks and stuff like it's just stuff you just can't run down. And it's just like no,
No,
that's not.
you're scrambling down at them and oh
So,
bless you. So
but it's
50K this year.
50K this year. It was nice. If the weather was better, I would have I did enjoy it, but I think if the weather was better, I'd have really enjoyed it. It's a really nice
Yeah,
route.
yeah.
Still tough, um, very tough, but yeah, it's a nice route. You know, still some hefty climbs,
I might,
but it's
I might
but
just
I've
say
seen it in London, so it's sort of like I'm used to sort of the mountains and the terrain,
yeah.
um, but still, yeah, it's just that weather.
Um, Dawn, I don't know if you know Dawn. I had her on the podcast, on the previous podcast, and
Yeah,
she done the 100 miler.
wow,
She DNF'd on it.
yeah,
She just
I know
couldn't.
a
She
lot.
DNF'd on it.
Yeah, I know a
Bless
lot of
her.
people, very good runners who DNF'd on it.
Yeah,
Especially this. I don't know many last year, but I don't know many people running it. I knew a lot more people running the 100 miler this year, and yeah, not. I don't think any of them finished. None of the ones I knew.
it's
Uh,
crazy.
and the
Was it because of the weather? I mean, it was a hot
Yeah,
weekend.
I think it must have been because the two people who I know who I really thought would finish it missed cut-off times.
Right.
And one of them did say it was the heat. He just sort of like just couldn't regulate his heat, and he slowed down and missed the cutoff. And then my other friend, she DNF, but I think she was just sort of like just taking the time and just sort of you know not realizing shit. I need to kick on
I
it.
need I, I need to get a move on.
Yeah, I think they both got cut off at checkpoint 2.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so quite early on.
Yeah.
But I think quite a lot got cut off at that time as well, at that checkpoint, sorry. So,
Jiggers, it was a very warm weekend that
yeah.
weekend, definitely. So, what is the next big one for you?
Lakeland 100.
That's the next one. When's
Yeah,
that happening?
that's, I think, is it July?
Yeah,
It's July, yeah,
I think it is July. Yeah, I know
yeah.
my coach. That's one of the races my coach wants to do. There's the
Yeah,
Lakeland 100 as well. Yeah, so I hope he does it. Probably be next year he does that. How's training going for it?
yeah, it's going good. I've never trained for a race before. I've always just sort of like ran, like sort of done short runs in the week, long runs in the weekend, and just sort of, done what I felt like. Whereas this time I'm actually like on a training plan.
You.
Um, so yeah, I bought the Gary House 100-mile training plan. So I was like, right, let's give this a go and just sort of see how I get on. Because like I said earlier, I'm really not disciplined at all. So I just thought it'd be interesting to see how I try and keep up to date. I mean, this weekend I was only meant to do 2 hours. Yesterday I done 5.5 hours. So it's just one of those things. It's just like it's just I'll try and keep to it as much as I can, but sometimes it's just
Life. It's life.
yeah, that's it.
It's
That's
life.
it.
Life gets in the way, and you just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what kind of nutrition are you going to be using for it?
So I use Voom a lot. the
Yeah.
Vim bars.
Yep.
So I have them, and then I'll have like soft glass of water, and then one with like a carb-based drink. I carry lots of like food, like real food, with me as well,
Yeah.
like mixed nuts. Uh, I have like the Rice Krispie bars,
Ah,
the
yeah.
squares. Yeah,
Swears.
yeah. Um, yeah, and usually like some crisps or something as well.
It's like a
Yeah,
kid's party in your backpack.
yeah, basically, yeah, yeah. And I just watch what they have at the aid stations as well.
Oh,
But
very
yeah, I
good.
don't know if I'll take more on this one, because I don't know what the aid stations are like. So I might take more on this one. So I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know. I just don't want to be without anything.
I know. I know. When you carry everything and probably not use it and end up throwing it away
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you finish.
It's
Well,
like it
it's
used. So
sorry.
yeah. So yes, I barely ate anything. But I'd rather just have too much. I'd rather carry too much than anything.
What's the saying? It's better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I was
Absolutely.
saying that to some people because a lot of people were like booting off about the mandatory kit for UTS because it was Scorchio. Oh, why have I got to carry waterproof trousers, waterproof jacket? And I was like,
Because
it's
you're
slow.
on a mountain,
Yeah,
mate.
like seconds. I was like, and I basically
Exactly.
said it's better to have it and not need it than you know.
Right.
Um,
And yeah, you're on a mountain, that weather can change, and then you'll need your waterproofs.
yeah, layer and everything else.
So, not ultra trail, slate trail.
Slate Trail, yeah, yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'm not running it this year. I'm going to work it because
Okay.
I'm going to a wedding in the evening, so I can't be out too long. So,
That's blessed.
yeah, I said I'd work it this year, and I'm going to run it next year because it's quite late in the year. I think is it October,
This is the first year. Yeah, I think it's September.
November? Yeah, that's it.
I
Yeah,
think it's September they're putting it on. So this is the first year they're putting it on,
yeah,
and I
yeah. So
know
I
you are very involved with them.
Yeah, so I ran some of the route to do like a photo shoot for for the website and everything. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's all quite like sort of. I mean, there's some hills in next year, and you're in Wales, but it's
Mhm.
quite sort of level um, routes. Yeah, it's really really good. I've ran some of it not knowing before as well. Just running around, and then
Yeah.
we're doing. Oh shit! I've done this bit before, and
Oh, it looks familiar.
yeah, really, really, really nice route. And it's organised by really good people. It's Mike, who also does the Skyline races, in the Snowdonia Skyline race and the Morn Skyline,
Ah, very
um,
good.
and the 14 Peaks as well. Yeah, so
Wow. So he
yeah,
knows what he's doing then.
yeah, yeah. He knows what he's doing. So it's not his first rodeo.
No, I can imagine. Right, Christian, do a little couple of quick fire round questions. You
hmm
ready? Uh-huh.
Yeah, go.
And then I'll let you go because I've taken up a lot of your time. Okay. Favorite music to listen to? You're on a
I
run.
don't actually, I don't actually listen to any
Do you listen to a podcast? Do you have headphones in
nothing
at all?
on. No.
Okay. Well, what is your favorite kind of music when you do listen to music?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix. At the minute, I've got what albums have I got on repeat at the minute? Jamie T's "The Theory of Whatever." That's a
Okay.
really good album on repeat at the minute. Um, yeah, I've got a really weird range of music tastes. It could be
Eclectic mix.
yeah, it could be Wu Tang Clan one minute, then it's Johnny Cash, and it's bit mixed. But yeah, Jamie T is what I'm listening to loads at the minute.
Okay, fair enough. So, would you rather listen to a podcast or music?
It'd be music, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
definitely.
Tea or coffee?
Oh, tea from at home, coffee anywhere else.
Right, okay.
I No one makes really good tea, like, I don't care how good you think you are at making tea, I won't like it, so I just yeah, tea
Fair
at
enough.
home, and then, yeah, anywhere else, I just have coffee, but yeah.
The answer to this one. Strength training or not?
Yeah, strength training, I'd rather not, but yeah, it's a
It's a
must.
necessary evil. It's a necessary
Yeah,
evil. Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram,
No,
100%.
100%. Um, Sweet or savory?
Savory,
Oh, very good.
yeah.
What's your go-to savory?
Ooh, if I'm running or, like, just in general?
If you're running.
Running. I like cold pizza, so I'll just get like a supermarket frozen pizza the night before and cut it all up, leave it, and then, wrap it in tin foil and carry it in my running pack with me.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
nothing
that's
fancy,
that's
like a 4 cheese pizza or something, it's yeah,
that's a
nothing.
new one on me. And you're
Yeah,
you're on the top of a mountain and you think, oh, I haven't got a pizza in my bag.
yeah.
Let's have a slice.
Yeah, and it's the best when you get back to the car and then you realize you've got one extra that you didn't realize you had. Oh, nothing better.
Best,
It's like
best bit of pizza ever.
might be a little bit sweaty, but it's
Well, that's okay though.
yeah,
Right, Christian, I am going to let you go. Thank you
cool.
very much for joining me and chatting to me tonight. Um, I've really enjoyed finding out. My God, like what a story! What a story! Where you've come from to what you're up to now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just
Legend.
and it's just yeah, just gotta be addicted to something, might as well
Absolutely.
make
Be addicted to something healthy. Definitely.
yeah.
Right, I'm going to let you go. Thanks a million for joining me. Guys, thanks for tuning in and listening along to the fifth episode of this Mama Runs podcast. I hope you've enjoyed listening to Christian share a wee bit about himself and what he's getting up to and what he will be getting up to in his future races. If you have enjoyed it, you can get me on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So head over to those platforms, give them a like and a follow. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed listening along. Until the next one.